Welcome to Model Monday, as it is 7 p.m. at the Milwaukee Makerspace. As is the tradition in this class, I am planning to force you to do whatever I want to do. And what I want to do right now is build a combat robot, because I've been watching a lot of combat robot stuff on YouTube.
Is it BattleBox?
I've been watching smaller weight competitions. So, NHRL, I believe, is the league that I've been watching on YouTube. So we're going to make smaller beetle weights, or I want to make a smaller beetle weight. Okay. And I'm going to force you to make one along with me, because then we can do battle. Otherwise, I will have no fun just driving my own beetle weight around the makerspace. I might end up like chasing Nick around.
And you know, back with mine. I will have one.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Good. Okay. Perfect. The essence of a battle or a beetle weight robot. There's a couple of different divisions, but like 3 pounds is what we're going for.
3 pounds.
3 pounds. So small-ish, but big enough to do some damage and be scary when you turn it on.
What did you say in grams? I thought
that is an ant weight.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, exactly.
17
Yeah.
grams.
My BattleBot is 1/5280th of a mile in length, you can see. So we're going to start by drawing all the parts. This will be a several week kind of thing. It'll be easy for people to drop in and pop out as they can. I think I'll be able to tailor this beginner advanced, depending on the different parts that we have. And we're going to try to draw the things that we're all going to probably need, like motors and ESCs and batteries.
Like, Carly, you gotta realize now you're making me start a whole other project. I've already got 5.
I'm not making you.
I'm just teasing you.
I'm just enticing you
Enticing.
to want to do
I
it.
actually kind of do want to build it.
There we go. So today we're going to draw little tiny ESC motors. Your motor may or may not be this size, but when you get it, you'll be able to model it, and then you'll be good to go. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to start a new design. I am going to start by modeling a cylinder, I think. So I'm going to start by drawing a circle, and then I'm going to extrude out the various bits and pieces from our circle here into the shapes that it needs to be. So,
Have you already built a robot?
well, it's no, it's kind of like in parts over there. It's in process.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to click on the Create menu here. I'm going to come down to Create Sketch. And I am going to choose one of my drawing planes to draw on. It doesn't really matter a whole lot which one you choose. I tend to draw on the front plane, so I'm going to use my navigation cube in that top right-hand corner to make it really obvious which one is that front plane, and then I'll click on it.
How do you do that part? Like, how do you make it move like that?
The navigation cube up in the top right-hand. Oh, you're good. You're editing your sketch already. You are already good to go. Yeah, you are. So you've got all your sketch tools at the top, just like I've got mine.
Right.
We've got a sketch palette here. So now we can make a circle. Fancy. So from our Create menu, I'm going to come down to the circle option here, and I'm going to choose to make a center diameter circle. Now, if I just stop moving my mouse, it'll tell me what it wants me to do. My Fusion Overlord will command me to place the center point. You may remember from my various, my various words that I say about connecting things to our origin. When you're starting from 0, it's really handy later on if you connect things to your origin, just to fully constrain things in space and in dimension, which we are doing right now. Something also that's important to note, maybe for beginners, most of the sketching tools are going to be a click, release, and then move, as opposed to a click, hold, and drag. So if I grab my circle tool here, my center diameter circle tool, and I click and I hold and I release.
I'm trying to get
Oh,
the
man.
circle to like be in the circle,
Just click on the blue.
cause mine is outside of the
Circle when you
circle.
go in the center of the center.
Yeah, mine is outside of the circle.
Oh, sure. So here you can click on it and then hit delete. There you go. That'll work.
It doesn't let me.
Maybe you have to
Select
select the
delete.
object. And then you can say OK.
There we go.
So there, if you go to create, and then circle, and then center diameter circle, and you'll want to place the center right at the middle there. There you go. Now you can click and move your mouse out. All right. The dimension that this particular motor is probably, yeah, it is definitely based on the metric system, which is not surprising. This is 24 millimeters. If you're not drawing in millimeters, it's okay, don't panic. I am not drawing in millimeters.
24 millimeters.
I can just type in 24 and then hit MM.
An inch is 24.5 millimeters.
That is impossible to know for sure. Yeah, this is, it's
Roughly.
0.942 inches. But if I switch over to millimeters here, it's like, oh, 24, right on the dot. All right, cool. And then I'm going to hit enter. You'll notice it does that conversion for me automatically. So, auto-magically. If you want to, you can click and drag on this dimension and you can place it somewhere else. I like to put these outside of the circle just to make them a little bit easier to read. And once we've got our circle, we can go ahead and say finish sketch.
Maybe it can't be that small.
It is not. So this is just the beginning. So now I'm going to click on my create menu here.
You said what was the numbers?
It is 24 millimeters.
24 mm.
Correct.
That does not look like 24 millimeters.
All right.
Short of deleting it and recreating it, and I didn't, but if I got that wrong, how do I, every time I try
Like
to
if
click
you-
on it, it changes something else.
You typed in the wrong number?
No, I'm saying if I did, because I was playing with it earlier.
No worries. So if we wanted to change something about this circle, and we've already finished our sketch, I can right click on the sketch down in my timeline, and I can say edit sketch. And then I'll go back in time to when I was making the sketch, and now I can double click on this measurement, and I could change that measurement to something else if I wanted to.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or, let's just say, for example, you don't have any measurements to change. Let's just say you made a circle and you forgot to add a measurement to it. From my create menu here, I can find this sketch dimension option. So if I didn't put my measurement on while I was making my circle, I could go to the sketch dimension option. I could click on the circle, and then I can click a second time to place that measurement wherever I want to be. And I could call it 24 millimeters, and if it was a different size, it would change the size of that circle.
My circle's kind of small, but it's cool.
It's a small motor. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a Ringo-sized motor. All right. So, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and say finish sketch. Let's go ahead and extrude out this shape here. So from the create menu, I'm going to come down to the extrude option, and I'm going to extrude out this little cylinder here. A grand total of, hey Steve.
You said extrude?
Extrude.
That's in the creative menu? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try and find it.
Oops, you're still
Finish
in.
your sketch.
There we go.
Get on your sketch.
And I can't
See, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah,
you
look,
can
people
talk
know what
about
to do. I love this. I'm gonna take the rest of the night off. You guys got this, right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, cool. So once we are extruding, we can choose a distance that we're going to extrude this. So I'm going to, in my extrude window here, I'm just going to choose to make this 28. Oh, geez, what happened? Command Z, Command Z. 28 millimeters. I know, it's like this motor was designed for like the entire world.
Well,
Crazy.
most.
Yeah. Yeah, except for Myanmar, Liberia, and the United States.
The most free countries.
The
in
free
world.
countries. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So we're making this a new body, 28 millimeters. And I'm going to go ahead and say Oakley Dokley. All right, let's do some housekeeping. So we've got a sketches folder here that's got an unnamed sketch in it. We've got a bodies folder here that's got an unnamed body in it. Let's go ahead and solve both of those problems right now. This is going to be the sketch that is our motor. Let's just call it the motor. Yeah, so to name a body, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can right click on the body and you can say rename.
Mine's not working.
Or the other way you can do it is you can click, you can pause, and then you can click a second time. I'm going to call it the motor. Got it?
Wait, that was the body?
I named my body and my sketch the same thing
Oh.
because I am crazy like that.
I'm gonna call it the body
Wait a minute.
Anything is better than body one.
mode. Mine just says sketches and origins.
That's because you gotta click finish sketch and then it'll show the body again.
I did the same thing. I ended up editing the sketch.
You actually you clicked too fast. So if you click too fast on your sketch, if you double click on the sketch, you go back to your editing your sketch. To rename, you gotta click, pause, click. You can't be too anxious to rename things. You must exude patience.
Any letters on the butt?
Patience, Padawans.
Screwed patience.
Yeah, exude and extrude. Yes, exactly. All right. So I'm going to hide my motor sketch because I don't really need that anymore. I am going to make the two caps. Both of our motor here has caps at the front and back. So let's go ahead and make both of those caps right now. Conveniently, I don't need to make any sketches in order to make those caps, because any flat surface I can extrude here. So from the create menu, let's come down to the extrude option one more time. Or we're going to actually use the extrude more than one more time. We're going to use it several more times. That was a lie. I just lied directly to your faces and I apologize. All right. So we are going to extrude out one side of our cap, 1 millimeter. Now the operation here is defaulting to join. So that is because whenever we've got two bodies that are touching each other, it kind of just defaults to say, hey, we want to join these together into one body, and we do not want to do that. We want these to be separate bodies. So from that operation menu, we can change it from join to new body.
What's the difference between new body and component?
That is a good question. So a component is, so let's see, how do we best explain this? A component is a series of sketches, bodies, planes, and joints too. It's a whole. You can have a whole lot of things in a component. A body is only a three-dimensional object here. So right now, the component here is our main document. Right now, my component is called unsaved. And inside of this component is an origin and some bodies and some sketches. If we were to make this a new component, we would be able to put a whole set of sketches in there. It's like the top level folder structure kind of our
Okay, so it's
document.
kind of like file folder.
Exactly, yeah. So we're going to make it a new body. Good question, thank you. And I'm going to say okay. So we got
Yep, I've got it.
one at the end here. We got a body we can name. I'm going to name this body the top cap.
It's not letting me do that.
So you just got to click on it one time and then pause for a second and then click a second time. Or
All these folders and stuff are closed.
and then we're going to also extrude this out the other side. We're going to extrude out the cap from the other side using the exact same method. So from our create menu, I'm going to go ahead and choose to create a sketch. And I'm going to click on that end cap there. Oh, I'm sorry, not create a sketch. I'm going to choose to extrude. Delete that sketch, sorry. Create, extrude, and we'll extrude out our other cap, also 1 millimeter, and make it a new body.
You'll be confused there for me, so. But I know.
You're welcome. And here, maybe now's a good time for me to take a little stroll here and see how all our cylinders are doing. Nice caps, very nice. Very good. And don't forget to say instead of join, you want to make a new body.
So you can-
Nice, very nice. Very good. Nick's over here using the flex sim. You can see here. All right, cool. All right, cool. And now I'm going to say OK. Now, something I want to get us in the habit of is to not have a pile of gray in our screen here. Right now we've got three bodies, and it's kind of hard to tell that we have anything but one. So something that I do as I'm doing my housekeeping.
Oh. This arrow right next to those buttons.
And as I draw, I tend to do this, but it just takes extra time during class, so I don't often do this during class. Is in the modify menu here, we can find a couple of different options that will change the appearance of our bodies, of our three-dimensional bodies here. So I can change the appearance of something. I can also change its physical material. We'll do physical material later. Right now I'm just going to work on changing the appearance of it. If I choose that appearance option, there's a whole bunch of folders here with different materials in them, different appearances of materials. So for example, in the metal section here, I can find in aluminum, there is an anodized glossy blue, which is definitely with the kind of look I got going on here with my motor. I don't currently have this material downloaded, so I have to click on that little arrow button. And if I click on the little arrow button, it'll dance around a little bit, and now it appears without the little arrow next to it. So now I can take this material appearance and I can click and drag out over the body in my drawing view here, or I can click and drag it over the body in my browser. So I can drop it on top of my body there.
I mean, we don't have to stay in black and white and gray.
You don't. You can live in a world full of all the colors, which is how I choose, unlike Benjamin Franklin in that clip, I choose to live in a world with all the colors. It's a wonderful thing. All right, so the other thing, we've got another piece of aluminum here. The other aluminum that I'm going to go with is aluminum brushed radial. And I've already got this material downloaded, but if you need to, you can click on a little arrow there, and I'm going to click and drag it out onto my end cap, both of them.
How do I do that?
So, are you in your appearance window? Almost.
Yeah.
So in modify,
Okay.
and then down to appearance, and then you should have a window that pops up.
Mine's not
Here
one,
we
let
go.
me
It's
see
just
that.
taking its time.
Oh,
Okay,
it did, it just didn't look that much different from
Cool.
what was there.
Okay.
And now, if you scroll down, there's a metal section, and then in aluminum, that first one there, you have to click on the little arrow and kind of download it. And now you can click and drag it out on top of whatever body you want to be blue. There you go.
Don't
There
those
you
have the
go.
same color?
And then what's that?
Are we doing those in the same color?
Yeah, both sides. I'm gonna make that radial.
That's cool.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of materials there. I chose like a radial, aluminum brushed radial for my cap and top and bottom. So in aluminum, scroll down a little bit. A little bit more. Aluminum brushed radial. So you gotta download that one too. And then the same way, you can click and drag it on the end cap of it. Did it work?
Yeah, I had to reboot because I had foolishly said yes to updating the project.
Oh, all right, cool.
And it made me.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, once you've dragged out something one time, it appears in this design folder here, or at the top. So now I don't have to find it in my list if I want to use it again. It's just right up here, and I can just click and drag, and there we go. All right, let us continue. So let's make the motor shaft end of our motor. So from our create menu, let's go ahead and choose to create a sketch. We're gonna create our sketch on the top cap. So I'm gonna spin around to, I suppose it doesn't really matter which side you create it on. Just know you'll be creating the other sketch on the other side. So we'll create it on the top cap.
How do I? It's not. Zoom that way.
If you're ever, you can always zoom in too. Some people, they kind of end up out here pretty naturally.
He's like a little too zoomed in.
Oh, you're zoomed way in. You're like way up in here.
Well, I mean, it's just like top to bottom of the screen.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's all right. You can fill your screen with the sketch. That's all good. So now we'll draw our motor shaft here, just with a center diameter circle. Conveniently, when we drew our original cylinder on the origin, it kind of holds true here to be the center of the circle for the whole time we're going to be drawing this here. So I'll click and place the center of my circle right at the center of my face there. And this is a 2 millimeter shaft. I know, that's crazy. Why would you make a shaft that small? That is the question that I would also have for the manufacturer of this ESC, of this motor. I don't necessarily recommend buying this for your robotic battle robot. You should get a different one.
It's a little sensitive there.
Yeah, it's a very small shaft.
Unfortunately, I cannot move or see what I'm doing.
Is it 2 millimeters?
And then, yeah, 2 millimeters. 1 pair of millimeters.
My other box
Try
is in
clicking
there.
on create. And then create sketch.
It's already in there. I got one in there, but I can't see it.
There you go. Now we're making a sketch.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Oh, right on. Oh, yeah. So you got 2 sketches that you made down there. That's okay. That's all right. Now you can just go to create, and then create your center diameter circle. And you'll place it right in the middle there. And then 2 millimeters.
So 2.0.
Or just 2 mm.
Okay.
All right, cool. The other thing that we've got here is a hole pattern on the outside here of where our mounting is for this motor. And if I remember correctly, there's 17 millimeters. Yeah. So when I want to make a hole pattern, I think my go-to method is to first define here what what the spacing on this hole pattern is. Let's see, should we do it like that, or actually let's show you how to do something. Let's show you how to use the sketch dimension tool. So we're going to make a hole pattern. The hole pattern is going to be a 3 millimeter hole. So if I grab from my create menu, if I grab that center diameter circle again,
So all we did is draw the sketch. We sketched the cylinder so far for the sketch the circle for the shaft.
correct,
We
yeah.
haven't extruded anything.
And now
with it yet.
we haven't extruded anything. Now we're going to make our hole pattern here. I'm just going to make 2 of the hole patterns because it's the only mounts that I'm going to use.
I'm getting a different tool.
Okay, let me-
I must be not in the sketch.
That could be. It could be if your tools aren't.
Yeah, this is.
There you go. So
So-
down at either there, yeah, your shaft sketch. Look at you named it already. Good for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Gold star.
In fact, I broke myself because I tried to change this back to like motor body or something,
Ah.
and I went back in time and everything screwed up.
Yeah. So now you can either double click on it there, your
This one?
shaft. Whichever one is.
Well, I was gonna rename this,
Was
but I.
yours keeping up with everything and still doing other
I
stuff
had
on the
sketch
computer?
note.
By
Oh,
your
there's the
second
name.
time,
Yeah,
then I
okay.
think you should keep doing this.
Okay.
Me and my
So,
second time, you know, I
coming back
had
to-
to
so we're
pay
still staying
application,
within
or I
this
was
sketch.
gonna fall
Correct.
behind.
Yes.
No, I can hear it on my headphones.
So if you
I'll
right
be
click
nice
and say
see. I
edit
think
sketch.
it's great to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool.
Kinda try to do this.
So
It's just
now
funny,
we
because I
are
might have
going to
forward
place
to keep up.
a circle,
Multitasking.
a center diameter circle, just somewhere out here.
Oh, anywhere out there.
Anywhere out there for now. We're gonna bring it into compliance in the next step. And this circle is going to be 3 millimeters. The mounting is bigger than the shaft, which totally makes sense, right? 3 millimeters. And it's just it's floating out here. Now you can see this is a blue sketch, or this circle is blue, because it's not fully constrained. So it's been constrained in dimension, but it has not been constrained in location. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So first I'm going to start by defining a distance between the center points of these two circles.
There's a lot of circles in my thing, like this shit keeps adding circles.
Yeah, you got a lot of circles?
I know, like 3 of them.
Yeah, so you can delete some of those, right? You can click on that edge of the circle.
Probably because that's so easy. Like, I get confused when you just go, like, add up the same exact date and you just come over and you just do this, and then it's not
Yeah, maybe say
confusing
okay.
anymore.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm only laughing because I made the exact same mistake.
Okay, right on.
Not this time, but when I first joined the class.
It happens, it happens.
Okay.
It's not mistakes, they're opportunities for learning. Happy accidents. There's no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents. As a wonderful artist I used to watch on TV used to say. All right,
You said 3 millimeters?
3 millimeters.
Gotcha. 3 millimeters. Circle is in place at the top.
I guess I kind of like dancing a little better. What's the difference between a beginner and a master? Somebody who's mastered something.
Couple of zeros in their paycheck. I don't know.
1,000 mistakes.
1,000 mistakes. All right. Yeah. All right. That's great. I like that too. All right. So, like I said, this is an unconstrained sketch. We're going to constrain this now. We're going to bring it into compliance. I'm going to do that by first adding a sketch dimension that tells these circles how far apart from each other they should be. So, if I choose this sketch dimension option from my create menu while I'm currently editing my sketch,
The dimension would over-constrain the sketch. Create a German dimension instead.
yeah, you don't want to do that. So you may have had something selected
Okay.
already. So another kind of general guideline that I encourage people to do is if you've got something selected, you want to click out into the middle of nowhere. As a guideline, we want to choose what we want to do before we choose what we want to do it to.
He also had selected the middle line, so it wasn't floating out in the middle of nowhere. It's constrained to the line on the left side. I could be
Got
wrong.
2 dots. I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
It looks like it may be.
There's 2 dots.
Oh, that's all right. You're fine. Yeah. So if we click and drag on this thing, you can see it'll just. Well, maybe not, but that's fine. It's fine in its position there.
Oh no, this thing works. I know. I just
Yeah.
did this thing.
Because we're eventually gonna constrain it there.
Constrained it to this thing right there.
All right. So if I click on create and then come down to sketch dimension, and now I choose the center point of my 3 millimeter circle, and then second I'm going to click on the center point of my 2 millimeter circle, and now this is a delicate procedure here. So you can see here I don't want to place my dimension like this. I want to place it like this. You can see there's kind of a subtle difference. So here my line is at an angle, so I want to measure the distance between these two things at an angle, not the distance between them this way or like the distance between them this way. I want to measure the distance straight between them. Does that make sense? And then I can just place that dimension. And now that I've got that dimension placed, I can tell it how big it is. So it is 17 millimeters divided by 2. And why is it 17 millimeters divided by 2? Because it's really easy for me to measure the distance between those two holes there. It is more difficult for me to measure the distance between the shaft and the hole. And also because I don't like to do math. Maths are impossible.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 17 millimeters divided by 2.
I didn't know you could put that right in.
Yeah, you can do maths right inside of Fusion 360.
Weird. I don't know why, but I'm not getting the thing that pop up to say the difference.
Yeah, mine's cool,
Well,
but
I
it's,
mean, the distance, I don't know what I did.
So, so you clicked on one thing. Did you click on the other thing?
I did.
And then you put your mouse in between the two of them. There
That's
we
what I
go.
didn't do.
mine is,
Yeah, there you go. I think you're good. Because you were constrained up and down already. So
That's
yeah,
what I
you're
was
good.
looking to do.
mine's got like a square going now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
17
Yeah.
divided by 2 millimeters.
Yeah. 17 millimeters divided by 2. And then hit enter.
It is red.
Do I actually put divided by?
Yeah. /2.
I'll put in a slash. Oh,
Slash, that was the name of my stepmother in high school.
It's not letting me put
Yeah.
in that dimension.
She was a teacher. All of her kids called her Slash. Because when she got married, she changed her name to Slash. She used 2 names, right? It was Grant / Stevens. So all the kids started calling her Slash. So when I moved here to Wisconsin, or to Milwaukee, people started calling me the son of Slash.
That's not right.
Which is a great nickname, son of Slash. All right. Finally, what we want to do here is we want to complete fully constraining this. So I can still move this around because I'm not fully constrained in space here, just in dimension from this one other object down here. So let's add a constraint. From our constraints menu, I can go ahead and choose a horizontal vertical constraint. This is a really handy constraint. I used to think like, man, this is only good for lines. But this is really handy when you want something to be directly horizontal or directly vertical from something else.
You said hit the constraint menu and do what?
Horizontal vertical.
Horizontal vertical.
And again, I'm going to have nothing selected.
Okay.
And then I'm going to choose from my constraints menu the horizontal vertical constraint. And if I pick the center point
I never made that.
of my 3 millimeter circle,
I never made that.
the 3 millimeter circle,
Mine is a square. So
I
that's
think
what
we all made 3 millimeter circles. I saw yours.
This one, this
Yeah,
circle.
that's a 3 millimeter circle. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So I click on the circle.
Yeah, click on the center point of your 3 millimeter circle, and then the center point of your shaft circle,
Okay.
and then it should pop right into
But
place
that,
there.
I missed the constraint. Which constraint?
The horizontal vertical
Right,
constraint.
this part I didn't do like that. Like the circle right there, and then how you got the line that goes like out like
Well,
that.
this is just a dimension.
Right.
This isn't really a line, so yours might look like this.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So this is just a dimension. It's not really a line.
Okay.
It's just a dimension that defines the distance between these two objects.
Mine is not doing. I don't know why. I swear, I click here, right?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, now, you walked over.
Like I said, it fears me.
Yes.
Mine ended up horizontal, but I'm guessing that's okay.
Totally fine. Yes.
Okay.
Totally fine. As long as it is either directly horizontal or directly vertical. The real key was just to make sure it's fully constrained and to show you how to make it jump into the compliance, because now I can't move it around since it's fully constrained. All right, so last but not least, in this sketch, we're gonna make the other side of this circle, because there's another one over here. There's a couple of ways you can do this. We could do it with a mirror if we wanted to. We could mirror this shape over a line that we would have to draw, but we'd have to draw a line, and I'm real lazy. So instead of choosing a mirror, I'm going to make a circular pattern, which is maybe a...
Circle pattern with 2 circles?
Correct. So I'm going to choose that circular pattern option from my create menu,
Circular pattern.
and then I'm going to choose the object that I want to make a circular pattern of, and then the center point,
Okay.
and I'm going to choose to make a pattern of 2. Because there are going to be two, I guess it counts this one, two.
Okay.
And then it makes our circle on the opposite side there.
It did some.
And I'm going to say, okay, okay. Cool?
Fully constrained
I think
sketch
so.
too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something happened.
You did not click on your circle, you clicked on the center of your circle.
Aha.
So he brought his center
It'll
of the
get
circle
you.
down.
That'll get you. Yeah. So
I did
try to
that
try one
every
more time.
when I pushed it.
Yeah. So if you click on create,
Oh. Okay.
yeah,
I
create.
got this little thing right there.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Alright. Create.
And then circular pattern. And then if you click on the edge of your circle, not the middle of it, click on like the ring part. There you go. And now you can pick your center point.
This one.
There you go. And then you'll change that to 2 instead of 3. All right, cool, cool, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and say finish sketch. And we can come out and we can do a couple of things here. So I'm gonna click on my create menu. I'm gonna click on my extrude option. I'm gonna click on my little shaft and I'm gonna extrude out my shaft. My shaft is
Where?
Where the box is.
my shaft is 15 millimeters.
1.5?
1.5, yeah, 1.5 millimeters. Instead of join here, instead of join, we are going to make this a new component. Because if it's a new component, then we can make it rotate later. We can, in order to use anything from this assemble menu, in order to make any joints, you need to have multiple components in your document. We haven't really talked about this. Components are kind of an advanced thing, and I'll talk to you later. So we're gonna make it a new component because we're gonna need to have its own component later anyway. So we might as well solve that problem now. So instead of join, I'm gonna say, hey, make that.
Sync is lost. I'm just letting you know.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm super lost.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it to zoom in so I can see it better. But I can't really see exactly what I am doing.
So you know, if when I get lost, you just gotta go to your home. There you go.
But it's still too small.
Yeah, something is real small about.
That's what I
Wait,
said.
I think we only got that one sketch.
Yeah,
we
we
just
know.
gotta zoom in.
Really zoomed out.
We just zoomed out a little bit
How
too
did you
much.
do
There you
that?
go.
That's-
Just 2 fingers on the mouse pad at the same time. We'll zoom you in and out.
Nice.
There we
It's
go.
way zoomed out.
And now from your create menu, you can choose extrude.
Okay.
I thought you did what I always do, go
And you
back
can
to the
pick
sketch
the
next to
center
that
circle,
one
the
that
shaft
I was
circle.
trying to go to.
And you're gonna extrude that outward 15 millimeters.
15.
And the operation is gonna be a new component.
I think you hit OK too early.
That's okay. If you accidentally hit OK too early, you can down here in your timeline at the very bottom of your screen,
Okay.
you can right click on that extrude
Oh shit.
and you can say edit feature.
What is that? What is really going
Ah!
Whoa! Hold on now.
He hasn't taught us this yet.
Yeah, right. There's something else has popped up. Like, I
I'm
don't
trying to
know.
create a hole or something.
There's a hole or something that just happened.
Yeah, you just,
I don't know. When
It's
I click
gone now,
this.
You gotta right click on it. instead of left click.
That was something.
And then say edit feature.
That was
There you go.
crazy stuff.
And then here, you can change your operation instead of join to new component.
New.
New body.
New component.
No, new component.
New component.
Said new body.
Or down.
Going down, I can't go
Oh.
down.
Am I?
He doesn't have that option.
I don't have that option anymore either for some reason. Why don't I have that option?
That's weird.
It says
Well, it's
creates a
on.
body in the active component.
Yeah. I don't have it when I can choose the extrude that 15 millimeters new component. I can choose it off the beginning, but I can't. Apparently, I can't go back and make it a component. Now I have two components. All right. So with the last 3 minutes here.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think the last things that we're going to do here are going to be extrude out our mounting holes. So from our create menu,
So we're gonna do the new body on the last one, right?
the last thing we're going to do is just extrude out our mounting holes here.
Right, but you tell me to click on the center circle in the middle, and then we didn't have the, that one.
Oh yeah, new body will be just fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
And then, the next step,
Now the next step is we're going to come up to the create menu
uh-huh,
and we're going to choose the extrude option.
uh-huh,
And I'm going to pick both of my mounting holes here. And if I push them into the body,
mine are gone.
it may be that the sketch is turned off, the visibility on your sketch. A little eyeball.
It's under that little triangle
Ah,
for your sketches.
that was what I had too.
Yeah, so
Just click on that triangle
I
right
think
there.
that is the one default that I changed from Fusion. Once you, the first time you extrude something from a sketch, it automatically hides the sketch that you just used. So, because it goes, hey, you're done using that sketch, you extruded from it. I think that is the one default that I changed.
So
Okay,
how
so
was
the
it changed?
top one,
The way that you change that
so I got
is
three, I got a
if-
3-piece.
if you click on your little badge of your username, it doesn't show you on the screen up here, but if you right click on it, you can choose preferences. And if you want to turn off that auto hiding of sketches, I believe it is in the design area. So there's a bunch of tabs off to the side.
Yeah, that's complicated.
Is it in here? Yeah, here we go. Auto hide sketch on feature creation. That is probably checkboxed by default. And if you change that auto hide sketch on feature creation, if you just uncheck it, then it will not turn off those sketches after you extrude from them.
So, apply or okay?
Both. I would go with both if you change something.
When we went to, how far did we get on that? Cause I got to, where we were about to click on the.
Yeah, we were clicking on the holes and
Yep.
Yeah, we were about to click on
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. We're clicking on our two holes
with the extrude option.
and we're extruding them inwards. We're choosing to cut.
And how far?
We're gonna go 1 millimeter.
Okay.
For me, I have to go -1 millimeter.
Yeah.
Because we're just cutting through our top part here is the only thing we want to cut through. And then for extra credit, Here, I'm gonna name this. This is the sketch is my shaft side. Just for fun, for extra credit here, these are threaded holes
Okay.
in my actual part here, and we can make them threaded holes in the real world here too.
What is saying that this, oh,
You have like different kinds of threads, like Acme threads.
So many threads. Yeah, there are so many threads. And Fusion is really good about automatically picking which thread. So this hole is a 3mm hole. So if I choose that as the face that I want to make, now it's set right now to ANSI unified screw threads. If we change that thread type to ANSI metric M profile, it went, hey look, that's a 3mm size hole, and it'll change. You can pick which thread pitch it is, and the class, I believe, refers to the tolerance of the threads. Some threads have a different tolerance that you can change. Is that right, Nick? Yep.
They have sizes.
There you go. So it kind of changes the hole size.
Is it like sloppiness, kind of?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
it just says auto.
But depending on the material that your thread is made of, you may or may not need more or less sloppiness for expansion or whatever the case may be. When Nick's making parts for the space shuttle, you got to know how your cryogenically frozen bolt is going to behave in its threaded hole. Yeah. All right. I am gonna. You don't have to make this a modeled thread. Making it a modeled thread adds a lot more geometry and can slow down your computer. But they also look cool. So I'm gonna make it a modeled thread, and then I'm gonna say okay.
Ah,
Oh, do you want me to? Are you still looking at it?
yes, I was.
I'm trying to figure out how to get the hole in there.
The 4G, 6G, or mine is not letting me read. I can't.
So I'm gonna come over and look at you guys, but I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody and tell them that I will see them next week. Well, we will continue this exercise, and we will draw another part for our future BattleBots. I'm thinking battery next week,
Okay.
or potentially, battery. I think is a good next week. Technically, is a beginner class.
Okay.
So maybe we'll draw batteries next week.
Why does it say? I don't have an option for 6 amp.